Jake Paul versus Ben Askren. Oh, it's gonna be a juicy one, boys. Out of all of Jake's professional fights, you know, the Gibb, Nate Robinson and Ben Askren fight, this is the fight that by far hyped me up the most, because this was the first time where the majority of people actually believed that Jake was going to lose, and lose badly. Now, before the fight, in all honesty, I didn't really know that much about Ben Askren. The only thing that I knew was that he had the fastest knockout in UFC history. But thanks to this fight, I was happy to discover who Ben Askren actually is. The thing is with Ben Askren is I learned that he's actually a really nice guy. So after his UFC career, he decided to live a pretty normal life. His job just became to be a wrestling coach. Like, he pretty much lived an ordinary life. So when Jake Paul sends him over a contract saying, hey, do you want to fight me for a whole bunch of money? Ben sat there like, yeah, what? Why not? I've got nothing to lose. Like if he lost to Jake, it's not going to stop him living a normal life, is it? And if you didn't know, Ben Askren actually got $500,000 for this fight, which is like, that's one of the biggest paychecks Ben Askren ever got. And here is the thing, because of the way Ben is, Ben was definitely the fan favourite for this fight. More people wanted Ben to win than people wanted Jake to win. And thanks to this fight, I found all of the things that I missed out on. Like, I missed out on all of the funny, like, things between Dana White and Ben Askren, like them two hating each other. Or even simple things like when Ben was calling Jorge Masvidal George, just to piss him off. Like, I didn't know who Ben Askren was, but when I started doing research on him, I found out that, like, this guy is funny as hell. And on the build up to this fight, it was no different. Ben was just killing it. Like, he was hilarious. Alright, so let's talk about the pre-fight build-up. So let's talk about when he went on Impulsive. Ben went on Impulsive and basically showed the whole internet that, look, he's so chilled out. Like, he's not scared of Jake in any way. And the thing is Ben gives a completely brutally honest opinion on how he thinks the fight is going to go.
It's hard for us to tell because he hasn't fought anybody. And so, hey, if he's really, really good, if he's genuinely good at boxing, he might beat me. Right? If he's not good, if he's not that great, if he's not a high level guy, he's not going to beat me.
Some people, including myself, we were a bit like, he doesn't seem that confident, but then at the same time he does, because he's not like scared of Jake. It was really weird. You never see fighters this humble. And when it came to the press conference, it was the exact same. Jake was there trying to piss off Ben, but because Ben's done it for years, like, he's just looking at Ben like, what's this idiot saying? And Jake just looked like an absolute idiot. Like, he tried so hard to get under Ben's skin, but the reality is Ben is incredibly good at getting under other people's skin. So, you know, Jake lost the press conference to a lot of people, and even I made a video saying that he lost the press conference. Ben came across brilliantly. And the thing is because Ben, you could clearly see that he got underneath Jake's skin. You know, a lot of people, including myself, we were thinking, oh, maybe this, you know, maybe Ben has something about him that, you know, Jake might struggle with here, because clearly, you know, he's hiding something because he's so chilled out. Like, why is he this confident? But, you know, like I said, I didn't really know too much about Ben Askren. You know, I didn't know that he was technically the worst striker in UFC history, despite him being a two-time champion. But, you know, I wish I knew at the time that at the end of the day, Ben Askren is a wrestler. He's not really a fighter. But anyway, another thing that made this fight so good is, remember all the drama that this, like, kicked up? Like, you gotta remember, you had people like Dana White saying that he was gonna bet $1 million that Ben Askren was gonna beat Jake. And because he said that, it then became this massive thing between UFC fans versus Jake Paul, the YouTuber. And this fight is basically responsible for the, like, feud between Dana White. And this fight really hits home for Dana White, because obviously one of his ex-champions is now fighting this YouTuber, and it's like, ugh. And then obviously you've got all the UFC fans that are looking at one of their previous champions who's now fighting Jake, and they're like, well, I'm Team Ben. Like, I gotta see this guy whoop Jake's ass. But, you know, obviously that didn't happen. But, you know, before I go off on some sort of tangent, let's go back to the press conference. So remember when Ben pushes Jake by the face, and then Jake does this weird, like, slap and then push? I remember that. I think I remember a lot of people, including myself, we were like, okay, I think Ben's getting underneath Jake's skin here. But I think when I'm looking back at it, I think when this happened, I think this was the time where Jake was like, okay, I'm going to hurt you now. Like, you're pissing me off. I think that's when this fight became a bit more real for Jake. And, of course, when it came to the weigh-in, Jake pretty much looked exactly the same as when he fought Nate Robinson. Like, and then when Ben comes out, you know, the nicest way to say it is he looked pretty damn tragic. He looked like he never trained at all. And obviously that's a theme that runs throughout. When you rewatch all this, Ben looked like he never trained when he did the weigh-in, and of course when it came to the fight night, it looked like the exact same. I want you to just go back real quick and try and imagine what this fight was like before it happened. Like, imagine this. You had Jake Paul, who was extremely angry at Ben Askren because Jake was trying his hardest to piss off Ben, and you know, he wanted to be the fan favourite, but Ben just completely made Jake look like a fool, and Ben was by far the fan favourite, so Jake kind of lost it in the popularity. But then at the same time, we had things like Ben Askren releasing like pad work footage, and it was some of the worst pad work you'd ever see, like ever. And it looks so bad that people thought it was trolling. So, you know, we had all this going on. And then not to mention you had the weigh-in where Ben looked absolutely terrible. And then you got Dana White throwing it in the mix, saying that he's confident that he's going to beat Jake. Like, a lot of people would be like, there's so much going on here. Like, I don't know who's going to win. And to be honest, I don't think anybody expected what was to come, apart from maybe True Geordie, who made a bunch of money.
All it took, there's the data. Wow. That's it. No. Let the views commence.
So round one, straight away you can see that Ben Askren has the wrong stance. I don't know why, but he had like a Muay Thai stance rather than a boxing stance, which just made it extremely easy for Jake to just throw punches straight down the middle and just land. It was easy. But, you know, Ben does try to go forward. He does this thing where he kind of like walks forward / running, and well, he didn't really do anything. He kind of just moved forward and didn't throw any punches. Like, Ben tries, like, he keeps trying to go forward, but like Jake just keeps him away by throwing some really fast hands. And before you know it, Jake's kind of sussed out how bad Ben really is, and before you know it, BAM! Right hook. Sends Ben straight to the floor. Now here's the thing, when Ben gets up, the ref says, right, wait a minute. Right, Ben, do a walk, let me see if you're alright. And straight away you can see he's all wibbly wobbly and he's out of it, and the ref goes, right, no, it's finished. And that is literally the whole fight. It was by far Jake's easiest fight. I'm pretty sure Ben threw something like 3 punches and only one of them even landed. And here's the thing that made this fight so funny. People were like crying online saying, oh, the fight was called off too early. Ben didn't even get a chance. But the truth was, if the fight was to continue, it would have been the exact same knockout as with Nate Robinson. Jake would have seriously hurt Ben. Ben had no ability whatsoever. It genuinely looked like he did a bit of pad work and never sparred anyone. Tyron Woodley goes into Jake Paul's locker room before Ben and Jake have their fight. There's a bit of words exchanged and everything, and, you know, a bit of beef, you know, a bit of hamburgers there. So when Ben lost the fight, you know, Tyron is like, yeah, fuck this, I want to get my revenge. So after Jake beats Ben, the natural solution is to go, okay, I'm going to go after the guy that tried to talk shit at me in the locker room. I'm going to go after Tyron Woodley. Now here's the thing, Tyron Woodley, he wants revenge for his buddy Ben. And then Jake, on the other hand, he just wants to prove a point by fighting some real tough motherfucker, and Tyron Woodley fits that perfectly. And this is what brings us up to date right now, because Tyron Woodley and Jake Paul are going to have a fight this Sunday. So if you're new to this channel and you want to see me cover it, I think we got some weigh-ins and stuff tomorrow. I'm going to upload videos all about that. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!